3, 2, 1.
Hello, how are you all doing? And welcome to Flyer live stream. I think we got the timing more or less right there. Welcome to everyone. I hope you're having a good time, enjoying your lockdown. Well, I hope you're enjoying it more than I am. Anyway, what have we got going on for you tonight? Well, we got a bit of a quiz. I think there's like two quizzes tonight. Simon's quiz. We got the weather for the weekend. We got a whole bunch of news, including another hat trick for the CEA, scoring 3 news items this week. And there's no ranting around, not much ranting around that this week. Then we got a kind of different fantasy hangar, which is, we're looking at kind of winter projects. So, you know, that kind of airplane, you know, see the airplane, you go, well, I wouldn't take much to get that flying. I could potter with that over the winter, couldn't I? So have a look. Tell us what your winter projects would be. We've all selected 2 of those. An ambitious one and a not so ambitious one, to be kind. We got a bit of a scary video and the usual which events have been cancelled this week due to COVID. So without further ado, Simon, over to you.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Hope that you're doing well this evening. I'm being teased by the sound of an aircraft outside tonight. There is an aircraft flying around out there. Yeah, that's terrible, isn't it, to do to somebody? Anyway, first up, before we get to the forecast for the weekend, let's get into Simon's weather-wise quiz, shall we? I've got one for you tonight. Take a look at this. I'll give you the answer after the forecast. In a Form 215, what does this mean? So that line there that I've highlighted, where it says MTW Max VSP 500 FPM at 080, what does that mean? Get it typed in the comments, and I'll give you the answer after I've given you the forecast. So, shall we get on with the forecast? This is how things look for Saturday. And we've got that weak cold front just across northern England, across northern parts of Wales on Saturday. Not much left on it. Look at the pressure going through that, 1,020, 1,024 millibars. So never going to be much rain on there. I think base is around 1,500 to 2,000 feet. Tops on that, probably around 8,000, 9,000 feet, and the whole feature sinking south. Now, to the south of that cold front, I think probably some broken cloud, base is about 3,000 feet, tops at about 10,000 feet, but reasonable conditions, although it will be quite breezy. To the north of that front, visibilities are going to be pretty good. It looks like it's going to be fair as well, particularly across more northeastern parts of England, eastern parts of Scotland. Base is around 4,000 feet, tops at around 8,000 feet. Western Scotland may just see a few showers. You can see them there on the map. Ireland looks as if it's going to be in for a fair one as well, some decent VFR conditions. For Sunday, there we go. The cold front has drifted its way further south. Pressure now 1,028 through that front. Virtually nothing left on it. I've got a slight concern that it may just have some residual cloud and may bring poor visibilities across the far south of England during Sunday morning. But generally, Sunday looks fairly bright. Broken cloud, base is about 3,000 to 4,000 feet. Tops at around 10,000 to 12,000 feet for most of us. Reasonable visibility as well. There's enough of a breeze there to get the air all mixed up. So hence the reason for better visibility. Some showers for Western Scotland and for Northwest Ireland marked on by the trough line that you see there. 1 or 2 of the showers on the heavy side, but I think overall Sunday looks a decent flying day if you can actually get out there and get some flying. Okay, how did you do on the quiz then? Let's have a look. Did we get any correct answers there, folks?
It's looking like a lot of people got it right with mounted wave, max vertical speed 500 feet per minute at 8,000 feet.
Oh, very good, very good. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, mounting waves. So we get mounting waves particularly to the, well, we get them to the lee side of mountains and hills. So in this country, it's basically across the Midlands, also northeast England, eastern parts of Scotland suffer with mounting waves when we get a westerly wind, particularly when a warm front has passed through. Always look out for those because they'll give you turbulence as well. Well done, folks. I'll get another one ready for you for next week.
David Whitcomb had the best answer. He said it means warn your passengers and tighten up the seatbelt.
Very good.
I think David's right. Right. Before we head on to the news, we're just going to do a little quick introduction of last week's quiz with the kind of a higher and lower thing, which everyone just got completely right, which is a bit dull, really. So I set a harder one this week. So here's an aviation-related anagram for you. So have a look at it now, and then we'll return to it later on in the show. So here you go. Ascribe vices, aviation related. Ascribe vices. Okay, thank you. We'll come back to that. In the meantime, Dave, over to you for the news.
Right. Well, it's a pretty packed news list today. We're going to kick off with the rather sad news that the guy called Vincent Reffe, who's one of the jet men, he's one of Yves Rossi's guys. He was training in the desert near Dubai, where he lives and flies, and he crashed. Well, his team say he had an accident while training. Nothing more to say than that, really. Difficult things to fly, probably, but anyway, we don't know any more about that. Apparently, the team has been looking at landing the aircraft because at the moment, when they finish their display, they pull a parachute and land by parachute. But they've been looking to, as well as take off, which they can already do, they've been looking to land. But we stress we don't know any more than that. So, quickly moving on, Garmin have updated the Pilot app with graphical displays for airspace and obstacle NOTAMs. And here you can see it's the channel, if you hadn't quite realized that already. And there's a NOTAM going on there.
So all NOTAMs are on here. Should be not just obstacle ones, but everything basically.
Everything.
Yeah.
Right.
So graphical NOTAMs is the big thing in this release.
Yep.
Which
okay.
I think that the last time you tested it for us, Ian, that was one of the big kind of misses, wasn't it, for it?
Yeah, I mean, in this day and age, I don't really see how you could. I didn't feel that you could have flight planning software without graphical NOTAM. I thought that would just make things too difficult. And so the introduction, that's version 10.3, came in a couple of days ago now, Monday, I think it was. Graphical NOTAM. So when we can go flying, I'll be going flying and testing that and playing with it and seeing what we can do. Sorry to interrupt. Back to you, Dave.
Oh, interestingly, they've introduced it in Europe and the States at the same time. Previously in the past, things came to the States first. Anyway, so now we're into the CAA sector. We've got three stories here. First of all, the CAA's new boss, the Stephen Hillier, gave a lecture this evening, the Brabazon lecture, where he talked about the CAA's future. Here he is. He's an ex-RAF, serious chap, but appears to know what he's talking about. I only caught the second half of it, but you heard the first half, didn't you, Ian?
I did. There was lots of words. There was like leadership, inclusivity, CA values, duality, just culture, and lots of things like that.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, I think he was actually like the boss of the whole RAF.
Yes.
At one point. So, chief of the air staff or something.
Yeah.
So
managing the CAA after Brexit is going to be a piece of cake, really, isn't it?
Presumably finish it by 10 o'clock on a Monday morning, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I caught the Q&A, and he's very big on evidence-based solutions, which is good. That's good. Yeah, not pulling something out of a hat just for the sake of it. Anyway, so next bit of news is about the CAA is holding a series of webinars about Brexit. Therefore, some of them are industry-based, for special sectors like maintenance and flight training. But there's a big one that really affects our bit of it. It's going to be on the 26th of November. It was oversubscribed in seconds. It's dealing with the key changes affecting Annex 1 aircraft and Part 21 licensing forms, and what actions organisations should be thinking about in preparation for the end of the transition period, including airworthiness, licensing and pilot training. So this is pretty much it, the whole big thing, whole caboodle. So we'll be reporting from that webinar, because there's going to be a whole bunch of good stuff there, which everyone needs to know about.
There's a whole bunch of people who subscribed to it and then got their registrations cancelled because it was oversubscribed. So, but I haven't had mine cancelled yet. There's still time.
There's still time.
Yeah. Yes. That might happen after the next item, which is the CAA's got a consultation on what post EASA opportunities exist for GA in the UK. The consultation is on at the moment. It closes on the 18th of December. We've got a news story on the Flyer website about it if you want to know a bit more. But you've got something to say on this, Ian.
Surprise. Generally in these things, I'm a little bit wary because, like, we're very good in the UK of going, I know what, we can now do this ourselves. Let's go and reinvent that wheel. We can make it rounder than anybody else. We'll have a world-beating round wheel that will just be, it'll be big, it'll be beautiful, it'll be wonderful, kind of thing. But I kind of hope they don't do that. On the other hand, I do hope that there's a clean sweep of the CEA/EASA regulations regarding licensing currency and stuff like that. The FAA with their BFRs and their IPCs have like the world's most simplest, most effective system that is just glorious, and there is no reason not. I mean, imagine you let's say, for example, you gave up flying for 20 years because for whatever reason. In the UK, can you imagine? What do I need to do to get my license back? Go, hang on a second, sir. We need to get you assessed an ATR. And it's just ridiculous. Over there, they go, well, you go and fly with an instructor until he thinks you're ready to pass a BFR. Then he signs you off and you're done. I mean, how simple is that?
Yeah.
I hope they adopt that. And I hope everyone who agrees with me jumps on the consultation and asks them to adopt it. Anyway,
that's surely going to happen, isn't it? Because Grant Shapps wants the UK to be the best place for general aviation.
Yes, I want my bank account to be the biggest bank account as well. But
well, in Sir Stephen Hillier's favour, he did tackle that at the end of the Q&A. He said they've got a lot to do, the CEA. They've got resource issues, of course, because they're taking on a whole bunch of new things, which EASA used to do for them. So, but he did tackle that, and he thinks everything should be simpler, and they're looking forward to digitizing. Oh, why did I choose this word? They're looking forward to digitalizing. Yeah, no.
Right. They're going to put on their systems.
Events in 2021. We're starting to hear about them already. And Bodmin Airfield. This is Bodmin Airfield. What a beautiful place! And they've already put out a full events list for 2021, and good for them. They're being very optimistic and thinking it's all going to happen. So we would like to hear from airfields and event organisers what your events are going to be for 2021, what your plans are. We understand, obviously, not everybody's ready to announce everything, but let us know as soon as you can. You can either email us direct, or if you go to the Fly website, go to the events section, there is a link to a form with giving it asks you the questions for the information we need to know. So let us know.
I was talking to Pete White this morning, and he said it seemed like the optimum thing to do to come up with a plan for events. He said, I'd rather have a load of events and cancel them than do something and, in reaction and go, quick, we need something to do. He said it seemed optimistic, and it's like, so well done, Pete. Well done, Pete. Everyone should make a date for their diary next year. Go to Bodmin or further west.
Yep. So moving on, Europe, not just, and we're included in this, the UK as well. Europe has started a traffic light system for travel during the coronavirus pandemic. Basically, any part of Europe, they look at the rate of infection, and they give it a red if it's high, and they give it a green if it's low, and in between is orange. So it's a traffic light system. Unfortunately, at the moment, I checked the map this morning. Most of Europe is red, including the UK. A bit of Southern Ireland is orange. And the only green bit I can see in the whole of Europe is southern Finland. So right. Southern Finland's all right.
Off we go.
Yes. What else? US startup. You had something to say?
I was going to say, how about the 2K? Is that red?
The 2K's red, yeah.
I went to Finland once. It's a fantastic place, but the alcohol is fearsomely expensive in Finland.
Yeah. Everything's expensive there.
Yeah. Same in Norway as well. I haven't been to Finland.
More news.
More news.
Keep moving.
A US startup company called H3X has announced a new type of electric motor, which apparently develops 3 times the power for the weight of any an existing electric system motor. So 250 kilowatts for a 15 kilogram motor is what they're saying. They've yet to prove it, yet to make one and prove it, but they've got some very nice graphics which seem to show that. To put that in perspective, the Pipistrel's certified E811 electric motor is a much lower output, but 57 kilowatts for 22 kilograms of weight. So if you look at it like that, if that American motor works, it could try and transform a lot of things. The idea of electric aircraft.
It's all packaging really at the moment. It's if you can have a light motor, then I guess it means you're going to have to have a whole bunch of batteries anyway. If you can package it all together and stick it on a conventional engine mount, then there's some re-engineering opportunities there.
Yeah. We ought to say the electric motor is only a part of the whole electric aircraft system as a whole, as well as the batteries and the motor. There's a whole bunch of inverters and stuff like that. So it remains to be seen what the whole system's going to weigh. Moving on, Swift. Swift has taken over support for the Slingsby T67 Firefly. You may remember they bought a whole bunch of these off Babcock, and which is here. This is them, and they refurbished them and started to sell them off. And the Slingsby T67 has had a change in status. It's sort of like one of these orphaned aircraft now, but Swift have taken on the support for them, which is good news because there's quite a few out there. They're a nice aeroplane.
Yep. I mean, is it an orphaned? I missed that. When did that become an orphaned aircraft?
Well, because who are the people were looking after the type certificate? Marshalls at Cambridge. They had the type certificate, but they've given it up now. So it's in a way, it's not quite an orphaned aircraft, but it's heading that direction.
But nobody wanted it.
Nobody wanted it.
Yeah, I quite like the Slingsby. The wings are a bit long, but I like it.
Yeah. Cool. Last item in the news is
about garden sheds in Yorkshire.
The biggest one ever.
The biggest garden shed that you could find. It's a Blackburn Beverley. It's the last remaining intact one in. And Martin Wiseman of Condor Aviation, you may remember, he does a lot of projects. He's one of the electric racer guys. He has bought it with a mate, but they need to raise a lot of money to take it apart, move it to their airfield, and put it back together again. And he then wants to do something with it, which he hasn't yet announced. There was a story in newspapers about turning it into an Airbnb, but he said, that's now not the plan. What he's very keen on is making it possible for disabled people to go into it, which is a laudable thing. And anyway, he's launched a campaign. The story's on the website. It's to raise money to take it to bits, take it to Yorkshire, put it back together again.
Yeah. If anyone can, Martin can. He's one of those who tackles massive projects with. Is just like that's I can do that. So good luck, Martin.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, I think that's the end of the news, isn't it?
It is the end of the news.
Yes. Excellent. So let's just, before we get onto the new fantasy hangar for this week, let's just see, have we had any entries for the
I'm not
competition?
I'm not sure. I think there might have been one for your.
While you're looking for it, I'll play it again for people.
Keir Williams says basic service.
Kira's got it spot. Well done, Keir. Ascribing vices was appropriate for a basic service as well. Oh, yeah, excellent. Well done. God, there you go. Right, so fantasy hangar time. Ed, what did we do about fantasy hangar? Explain the background to this.
So Fancy Hangar runs every week, well, in most weeks, and we pick fantastic things for Fancy Hangar. But we thought this week we would put that to one side, and we would take a look at cool projects that we could find on aircraft for sale websites for winter. You know, the kind of things that you look at and you go, oh yeah, a few hours in the garage or the hangar, and I can have that back together or put together, and that'll be ready to fly for the spring. So I tasked everyone with finding one sensible project and one less than sensible project. So if you've seen something that whets your appetite on any of the websites, stick it in the comments. However, and in the meantime, Dave and Ian and I will regale you with the ones that we found.
Absolutely. Well, as Dave's just spent a long time talking about the digitization of Pipistrel, I'll give him a break and I'll go first. So we actually picked two, didn't we? So there was one which is kind of like
realistic,
super ambitious and not very realistic, and one that is realistic. So for super ambitious and not realistic one, I spotted this on A4s actually. It's an Oster. Okay, there's an Oster. So now I know a lot of people don't like Osters, but I actually quite like them. I had a share in an Oster one, so a J1N. Nice little 4-seat Oster, although I'm not sure I ever put, maybe I did put 4 people in it once, I can't remember. 130 horsepower, Cirrus Major, hand start. I thought it was lovely. It had the flap handle that sort of, gave you cuts over your hand when you moved it. But, this thing, this has got written over it. I mean, what's an Oster worth? Somewhere between 10 and 15 grand at the moment, roughly speaking?
Maybe, yes.
Maybe. This one looks like one of those projects where you're going to be 80 grand in for a 15 grand airplane, but plenty of pottering opportunities there.
I think ads like that are always dangerous when they look like it's like, oh look, there's just some fabric to do. How hard could it be?
The wings look okay, so that's my not very realistic thing. And as for my practical thing, I went to Barnstormers and I found this. I reckon that would make a stonking camera ship,
It would make a stonking camera ship for sure. But I think you're going to be really busy in your garage. And plus, your wife is going to be really hacked off when that fills all the space in your house.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking downstairs would do. We could,
That's a B-25 Mitchell?
Yeah, probably.
Wow. Does it come with engines?
No.
No.
Okay.
So
I don't think so anyway. But you're right. This is a hassle of getting over. I thought that was a pretty good choice. I thought that was quite practical.
That's quite certainly when it's done, it'll be very practical. I think there's an awful lot to do though.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think the Oster's more practical?
I think the Oster is definitely definitely more practical.
Okay. Fair enough. Dave.
Right. Well, I've chosen. Which one are you going to show first, Ian?
Which one would you like, Dave?
Yeah, I just take the mad one.
The mad one first.
The mad one.
Here you go.
Here it is. Now, I'm going to be kind here. It's not too mad. It's a 1999 Cirrus VK30. VK stands for Viken Klapmeyer. A guy called Jeff Viken was working with the Klapmeyer brothers, Alan and Dale, and they produced this kit plane in the 90s. And it's a pusher. It's got the engine at the back. It's got a laminar flow fuselage and wings, so it's got low drag, and it actually is pretty fast. It cruises at 217 knots supposedly. Anyway, this one's for $95,000 on Trader Plane. It is the back end. It looks like it's complete. Looks like most of it's there. It just takes a bit of, as you said, Ian, a bit of polish, and it'll be fine. It's the only thing is, I then went and had a look at some accident statistics, which I really shouldn't have done because the FAA there's an estimate that 40 kits were sold. The FAA estimates 13 were completed. 7 of them have crashed, with 10 fatalities. So perhaps this is a project not to fly, but to make it a piece of history as the first aircraft that the Cirrus guys put on sale.
You see those white wheels? You see those white bags around the wheels?
Yes.
That's the CA after EASA reinventing the wheel. That's what we're going to end up with.
the special sandbag wheel.
Yeah.
It looks like there's still a lot of sanding to do there, Dave.
Yeah, probably a bit, yeah. This is the aircraft that convinced the Klapmeyer brothers to go for a more conventional design, apparently.
I'm glad they did. I reckon that definitely worked out for them.
Yes, yeah, I think so.
But my sensible choice is this. Yeah, that's me 20 years ago.
Do you think taking yourself on as a restoration project is going to be successful?
I need a bit of work. I already do.
I don't know. It's difficult to get the parts now.
I went for an eye test this afternoon. God, that was a mistake. Anyway, so this next to me was my beautiful Luscombe 8E, and I stupidly sold it, and to pay for a roof, if I remember rightly. And anyway, so I parted company with it, and it went through a number of owners who all appreciated it and loved it, and it ended up at Popple. And one sad day, it got flipped onto its back, and it's now ended up as a pile of parts with restorer Owen Watts, who I've had a quick chat to. He's working on it. It's going to take him a while, and who knows? Maybe it will come up. I'm not a great mechanic, so I really need someone else to do the hard work, especially if I'm going to fly it. I'm not sure I'd like to fly an aeroplane I put together.
So that definitely rules you out finishing a VK30.
Yeah, well, yes.
Yeah, I think the Luscombe, that's a great. I really, really hope that Luscombe comes off.
I do as well.
Yeah.
We could make like a really soapy video along the lines of the kind of like, the John Lewis Christmas ad. Dave walking back to reunite with his Luscombe, tears in his eyes.
Yeah, DIY SOS. That's what I know.
Yeah. How about you then, Ed?
Excellent. Well, I went looking, and what one are you putting up first?
I think crazy.
Crazy. Well, yeah, it's not so much crazy.
Not like crazy, no.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
So much crazy. It's just the amount of work. So I saw this. This was on Plane Check, and it's as it says in the description, it's a rare opportunity to acquire a 1933 Stinson SR, and they are fabulous machines. That one in the bottom right corner is one that was finished and restored in the States. A really amazing aeroplane. Now this is the really is the rare straight wing Stinson Reliant. The restoration project, however, is it's a 1933 aeroplane, and it's 90% complete, but some parts are missing. And it's you go cardboard boxes of stuff. That might take a bit more than over Christmas to do. And there was anything that in an advert where it says rare opportunity, that's usually advert speak for it's going to be tough to find some parts.
Yeah.
They're magnificent aeroplanes when they're done, but I think this is the engine's there, and they promise there's an awful lot there, and there's even a new prop. But I think that's going to be the idea of that being a short-term project.
Is that a pair of snowshoes in the bottom left picture?
Oh no, that's the rudder pedals. They're massive rudder pedals. Which to be fair, in the description of the of things for sale, it says some additional components such as rudder pedals have been completed to primer. It's like, oh, wow, that makes a massive difference.
I know where that is. I've seen that. I've seen people working on that.
Yes, yeah, it's a big project. Amazing machine, but it's a big project. So,
yeah.
Probably my more sensible choice, though I'd have to go and ship it here, is this. So for some weird oddball reason, I've always had a soft spot for the Moonie Mite, which is the little single seat Moonie created in 1947. And this project, it's been dismantled and it's going back together at the moment. Lots of new woodwork and fabric and stuff. Unfortunately, it's in Scappoose, Oregon, so it would need some shipping. But it's 65 horsepower. It's got manually retracted gear. I've just always thought this is like a cool little single seater. So, and it's £6,500 before you ship it. But it's like this looks like a fun project. You know, they only ever built 283. Weirdly, when I was looking around for information about this, there was talk about how this developed into the 4-seat Moonie M20, and you're going, well, if a single seater developed into a 4-seat Moonie, no wonder people say Moonies are small. So
very, very, very true. Oh, excellent. That's good. Cool.
Someone called Richard Andrews says, Ed, that project ruined its owners last Christmas.
That's not so good.
Yeah.
Someone, a few, 2 or 3 people have picked up on the on probably what is one of the most bonkers projects for Christmas, and it popped up on A4s a few days ago, and it was something like a 7/8 scale ME163 Comet replica. This was on A4s, and it's clearly not rocket powered, but it was tempting to pick that, but there were no photos. It's like if someone out there plans to buy that, please, we'll give you a space on Livestream.
There was a bunch of really interesting things, weren't there?
Yeah, it's quite good fun to trawl the sites and put project in and see what you get.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm going to just take that as I believe the professionals in this business, of which none of us are, call that a good segue, because you said if someone buys that, you'll get them a space on Livestream. Can I just remind everyone out there that the Airability Ball, which is not this Saturday but next Saturday, and their silent auction is on, you can bid for not only a year's membership of the Flyer Club, which frankly everyone wants and should have anyway, but if you successfully bid for it, you get to come and join us for an episode of the live stream. I mean, who wouldn't want that?
It's like second prize, 2 nights on the live stream.
It needs to be worth lots and lots. And the second prize is you get the dog all year.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Sorry for that interruption. Get back to you. Over. Where were we?
That's it. Looking at the comments, I have to say, I know I'm usually one to big up my own success. But the Moonie mic does seem to have quite a few supporters.
Yes, there's no takers for the Cirrus VK30.
I'm surprised at that, Dave.
I'm a bit worried about our viewers. They have no ambition levels. It should be the B25, clearly.
Well, they did. The B25 did. There was at least one person who thought that was a good idea.
Yeah.
But,
we better wrap up. 1 minute's over.
I think you need to. I think any good project starts with a complete aeroplane that you look at and you go, "It's all there."
There was a Groppe trail, but it looked almost too complete. And then I kind of thought, no, that's just that's like a job for a Saturday, isn't it? Not
And one of the best things about looking around at different adverts is where it says it's a project and it shows you a photo. It's like you go, "Oh wow, that looks really complete," and you click to the next photo, and then it's like, oh no, that was it 20 years ago.
Right. What else have we got? This events that are cancelled this week.
Right. Well, everything's cancelled at the moment, isn't it? So we're looking up to the week after lockdown lifts on the 5th of December, assuming the weather's good. The Vintage Saturday at Compton Abbas is going ahead. It was this afternoon. 6th of December, the following day, Fentland are having a Christmas fly-in. And 1st of August 2021, we have the Lundy Sunday is going ahead.
Lundy Sunday, which we think was probably the world's biggest fly-in this year. So sign up for next year.
Yeah. And we took part in it, didn't we? That was great. Excellent. So I'm just going to quickly end by reminding people, thanking people for watching, giving us half an hour of your time. Thank you for participating. Much appreciated. If you're not members of the Flyer Club, we'd love to have you as members of the Flyer Club. But you've heard that already, haven't you? So just go and do it. Get your friends. We need you all. It'd be great. Thank you. And see you somewhere next weekend. I think I'm going to sit down and attend virtually the Aviators Ball, which will basically just be me getting slowly drunk in front of it and making inappropriate bids on their auction prizes. Not. Hope not. Anyway, so thank you very much.
Yeah, you can't win your own spot on the live stream.
I'm not. No, I wasn't going to bid for that. Funnily enough, so thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. It's been a great evening, and we'll see you this time next week, hopefully. And that's it. Bye.
Take care, everyone.